Alrighty, peoples. First, straight up, I gotta tell you, this is about the dock worker strike. Me personally, I may get some slack for it, but who cares? I am totally anti-union. I was in a union, and, well, we don't have to go into detail. In a way, I was in a couple of different unions. They didn't do anything for me. I was fired from the one place without just cause. There was not to get into too much detail, but anyway, there was a job that I did for the VA before I started working at this other place. So then I started working there. The owner of the company found out that I did the job for the VA and he fired me. He says, you know how we feel about doing outside work. I says, that job was done before I started here. So the union rep was totally useless. So I contacted, the rep in Lansing, the head guy, and said, your fucking local ass wipe won't even call me back. And I told him what happened. And he said, that's wrongful firing. He said, the union has to stand up for you. So anyway, so he called the union rep, the head of the union in Flint there, and he didn't do shit. All he said was, well, we can get them to change it from firing to layoff so you can collect unemployment. I says, I don't want to make unemployment. I want to work. Because I was making, really good money. And so anyway, they didn't do anything. All they did was get it changed from, and there was other shops, union shops, that they could have called them up and said, look, you guys are hire this guy, he's a member of the union. But anyway, so I hate unions. They're useless. Not only that, now years and years and years ago, unions absolutely were a must. But you go all the way back to when Ford was building the Model T. He paid his workers more wages, more money per hour, per day, than GM, Chrysler, Studebaker, it wasn't Bethlehem. In a way, there was more car manufacturers back then. Ford was paying more to their workers than anybody else, and they voted the union in anyway and screwed Ford over when he took care of the people. Ford actually had his henchmen going around to the different areas, making sure the people had running water, made sure they had food, made sure they had whatever they needed. He built a River Rouge plant. He built a whole fucking town for them, and they stabbed them in the back. So anyway, now as far as the union workers on the docks, one, they make an ungodly amount of money, okay? They make really, really good money. The crane operators, they make over $120 an hour. Last time I had talked to the crane operators, they're the ones that, unload and load the cargo ships. Some of the dock workers, yeah, they only make $20, $25 an hour start pay, the lower ones that are just running around. But if they're moving containers and operating the equipment, they make a lot more money. So anyway, what they want, keep this in mind. The contract, the dock people who run the docks, who own them, they offered the union workers a 50% pay increase. 50 fucking percent. And the union goes, well, no, that's not good enough. Imagine that. I'm sure that anybody watching this video, probably 90% of you, if you were offered a 50% pay increase, I'd be willing to bet you would take it. The head of the union, I forget what his name is, the head of the union, okay? He has a yacht. He drives a Bentley. They pay themselves, well, they have, I believe it's 13 or 14 vice presidents of the union. They're all making 100,000 plus. Some of them are making 200,000. Some give themselves, $50,000, $100,000 bonuses. So anyway, the union workers, they just want more money, and they want a 61% pay increase over the next 6 years. That's a lot of money. 61% pay increase. And they don't want any automation. Now, you go back to the big three. When they went on strike multiple times, when they went on strike, they were fighting, oh, we don't want, our lines being taken over with welding robots and what have you. So we don't want automation. So the big three had a cave. And they said, okay, fine. We've been out of work. We can't be making cars. Now would be a good time to go on strike because no one's buying vehicles. So anyway, they went on strike. And what happened? The big three gave them what they wanted. And then guess what? They started shipping south of the border. They started making vehicles down there. So the unions, whether you like unions or not, they're cutting their own throats. And it's stupid. Another example, but anyway, so they don't want any automation and they want a 61% pay increase, which is ridiculous. They know that ships are going to start backing up into harbors. Freight's not going to be moving. And think about this. Right now, the economy is in the shitter thanks to Biden-Harris, Kamala. Harris, actually. So the economy's in the shitter. Them going on strike, okay, so I believe 14 different locations. I'm not positive, but I believe it's 14 different locations that are on strike. All those people on strike, they don't give a fuck about you. This is what they're saying. Fuck you. Yeah, we know that the economy's in the shitter. We know food prices are enormous. I've gone up 25% overall in the last 3.5 years, thanks to Biden-Harris. But we don't care. We want a 61% increase, and we don't want any automation. So, they know that the people who run the docks, who own the docks, they're going to have to cave eventually. And they know that. Okay, so now they get their raise. Guess what's going to happen? The companies that run the docks, they have to make up the money they're now losing. So they're going to increase shipping costs. They can't do anything about pricing the product, but they can increase the shipping costs. Guess what happens? Now, the price of that's gone up, so now the trucking companies, they're charging more. And guess what? The stores are going to charge more. So every day that those guys are on strike costs the United States of America $5 billion a day to the economy because the stuff ain't moving. Now the ones out in California, Washington, and areas like that, they're not on strike. It's just the East Coast and down to Texas. They don't care. They don't care how much it fucks you. We don't care. The first thing you're going to see is grocery prices going up. Bananas, fruit, other stuff like that come in from other countries. And now think about all the food containers that are sitting on those docks or on the ships. It can only last for so long before it goes bad. Do you think they care about the millions of dollars worth of product that are going to wind up in the trash? They're not going to care. They're not going to care that, oh, well, shit, my kid wanted this doll or this toy or fire truck or, I don't even know if they make G.I. Joe anymore. But all that stuff is going to wind up costing more than it already is because they're on strike. And that's just ridiculous that with the economy the way it is and them going on strike. So anyway, I am 100% against unions. They do more harm than good. And you can't, why is it that the head of the union has a yacht? Why is it he's driving around in a Bentley? Think about all the money that people pay in union dues. It's ridiculous, the amount of money. What do they get out of it? Oh, well, we get pay raise, we get sick days or whatever. All of that cost has to be handed down. Vehicles are already almost impossible to buy. Well, it's not possible, but anyway, it's really ridiculous how much a new vehicle costs if you can find a new vehicle. It's horrifying what the cost of a new vehicle is. The unions did that. The big three didn't do that. They cave. We'll give you this. We're moving the shit down to Mexico. Ford is the only manufacturer. The Ford pickup is made here in the United States of America. Anyway, it's made here in America. Ford is talking about moving the plant to Mexico because of the unions, the cost. Ford right now, they're the best-selling pickup in the country, have been for over 50 years. They're the most expensive pickup sold in the United States. GM and Chrysler sell them cheaper because they're made in Mexico. That's what the unions do. They drive the Briggs & Stratton, okay? They make small engines for lawnmowers, bikes, stuff like that. Motorbikes. Anyway, they make a huge variety of small engines. They went on strike. This was a few years ago. The union went on strike. And the owners of Briggs & Stratton, the plant, told them straight out, if we give you what you want, we will close the plant and move it to Mexico. So you would think the union would go, well, that's not good. I won't have a job. That's not what happened. They said, we don't care. We're going on strike. We're staying on strike. We want the money, whatever else was involved, sick days or whatever, vacation days. We want that money. We don't care if you pack the plant up and move it to Mexico. Think about that. How stupid are you? Not you, but the union people. How stupid are they that they were... So what happened is they didn't have a choice. Everybody else had already moved out of the country. Briggs & Stratton was the last company making small engines here. So the union said, nope, we're staying on strike. So Black & Decker said, fine. They gave them what they wanted. It was either 6 or 8 months later. They said, oh, guys, guess what? Fuck you. We're laying you all off. We're closing the plant. We moved it down to Mexico. That's what the union did. So now all of those factory workers that were building Briggs & Stratton engines were out of a job. They screwed themselves. I don't understand why they do that. If the economy is strong, everybody's making good money, shit's flying off the shelves, everything is hunky-dory like when Trump was in, 1.5% inflation rate, now it's 20-some% overall. They don't care. We want what we want. They don't care who it hurts. They don't even care that it hurts themselves. So anyway, I wanted to keep this short. So anyway, I am totally 100% against unions. Now, they used to be needed. Now they just hurt places. My mom worked at a Palmer Paints. They had a union there. She was a union rep. She had to fight to keep people their job that didn't belong, that should have been fired. They had one particular person, originally her ancestors, I'm guessing, were from Africa, and the girl was always coming in late, doing half-ass her job, and my mom was a union rep, so she had to fight to keep that loser, to keep her job. She should have been out the door. Same thing with the big three. It's all kinds. Anyway, you'd be amazed at the shit that goes on. So anyway, they went on strike, wanted more money than that, and Palmer Paints said, well, here's the deal. This is what we'll give you. This is what you're going to get through the union. Your choice. So they actually voted the union out of the shop because when they included how much they were paying in union dues, okay, that the offer from Palmer Paints was actually better, more per hour take-home pay than the union was going to get them. So they voted the union out. It's like, well, okay, the union is going to get you this, but keep in mind, this is your union dues. Every time you get a raise, they take more money out of your paycheck for the big office buildings they have, for the guy driving a fucking yacht, for the guy driving a Bentley. And that should piss all union workers off. They should say, well, we're paying all these union dues, and you guys are living high off the hog. You're living in a mansion. You're boating around in a fucking yacht. You're driving a Bentley. Bentley is made overseas by Rolls-Royce and Bentley. So anyway, if you want to subscribe, hit the little B in the bottom right-hand corner. Keep your comments clean. I don't care if you're union workers or not. My opinion, screw the unions. They're useless. That I know from experience. So anyway, Hit the little bee in the bottom right hand corner if you want to subscribe. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, hey, smash that thumbs up. You gotta smash the thumbs up. Algorithm and all that. So anyway, I just appreciate everybody watching. There is something for everybody. There's a lot of videos I need to take down that have been up there forever. So anyway, if you want to subscribe, what, the little bee in the bottom right hand corner, right? So anyway, thanks. I really do appreciate everybody watching my videos.